Recently, I asked my email subscribers if they were still interested in sex after 60, and the majority said yes. Then the replies started flooding in one after another. Same message in different words. I actually have sexual urges, but no partner, and I don't even know where to find them anymore. Dating apps are full of scams and just waste my time. So, I've given up. So I'm making this video for them and for you if you're still interested in finding women for intimacy. And what I'm sharing isn't the generic join a book club or volunteer at the library advice you've heard 1,000 times. These are 3 underrated but highly effective places to meet women who are actually on your wavelength. Women who are active, social, and open to connection. And at the end of this video, I'm giving you something that changes the entire dynamic. A free checklist, 7 things younger women can't resist in older men. Put these to use and you'll position yourself so women, especially the younger ones, start doing the chasing instead of you doing all the work. So, if that sounds good, hit subscribe right now and watch all the way to the end for the link. All right, let's get into it. Place number 1 might surprise you because most men your age don't even consider it. Salsa dancing classes and social dance nights. And before you say, I don't dance or I'm too old for that, just hear me out because this is genuinely one of the most effective environments for men over 60 to meet women organically. And there are specific reasons why it works so well. Okay, so first thing you need to know, the gender ratio. You see, most salsa classes have 3 women for every man, sometimes more, which means you walk into a beginner salsa class as a man over 60, and you're immediately valuable because there aren't enough leads to go around. Women are literally looking for dance partners, and there aren't enough men in the room. And here's the second thing, the physical touch is built right into the activity. You're holding hands, putting your hand on her waist, moving together to music. That physical connection bypasses weeks of awkward small talk and creates familiarity fast. Dancing is one of the only socially acceptable ways to touch someone you just met without it being weird. Think about that. Where else can you do that? Plus, you see the same people every week. It's not some one-time event. You show up to class Tuesday nights, same instructor, same group of regulars, and familiarity builds naturally. Conversation starts happening before and after class. People suggest grabbing drinks afterward. Suddenly, you're part of a social circle without even trying. And here's where it makes sense. Confidence is attractive. When you learn the basic moves and can lead confidently, women notice. It shows you're willing to learn something new. You're comfortable in your body and you can take charge in a partnership. That matters way more than you think. Now, look, I already know what you're thinking. I can't dance. I'll look ridiculous. Okay, here's the truth. Everyone looks awkward the first few classes. Everyone but women in these classes are incredibly forgiving of men who are genuinely trying. What they can't stand is men who refuse to try or who show up thinking they already know everything. So you start with beginner classes, not social dance nights. Classes teach you the fundamentals in a low-pressure environment where everyone's learning together. After 3 or 4 classes, you'll be comfortable enough to attend the social nights where people just dance for fun. And that's where the real connections happen. And why salsa specifically? Because it's more sensual than ballroom, more accessible than tango, and the music is upbeat enough that the whole atmosphere feels alive and social. Plus, the Latin dance community is incredibly welcoming to beginners of all ages. I've seen 70-year-old men in beginner classes, and nobody blinks. My husband has a friend who started salsa at 62, went to beginner classes for 2 months, started going to social nights, met a woman there within 3 months. They've been together 2 years now, and he swears it's because dancing gave them a way to connect physically before they ever went on a formal date. The relationship started on the dance floor, not across the dinner table. So, that's place number 1, salsa and Latin dance classes. Now let me tell you about place number 2, and this one's a bit broader, but just as effective. Fitness environments with a strong social component. And I'm not talking about showing up to a regular gym, putting in headphones, and lifting weights alone in the corner. I'm talking about group fitness activities where the same people show up at the same time every week, and socializing is literally built into the culture. Things like group fitness classes, spin boot camp, yoga, hot yoga, bar classes, or pickleball leagues, and open court times, or organized hiking and walking groups through parks or meetup.com. You see where I'm going with this? Here's why these work. Shared goals create instant common ground. You're both there to stay healthy, stay active, improve yourself. That's already something you have in common without forcing conversation or trying to think of what to say. And regular attendance builds familiarity without you even trying. You show up to the same boot camp class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. Same instructor, same group of regulars. After a few weeks, you start recognizing faces. People start saying hi. Someone asks how your weekend was. Conversation becomes natural because you're just seeing each other all the time. Plus, endorphins make people more open and positive. After a good workout, people feel good, so they're more likely to engage, smile, be friendly. That's literally the best possible context for making a connection, because everyone's in a good mood. And here's the thing, demonstrating that you take care of yourself is attractive at any age. When a woman sees a man over 60 who's actively working on his health and fitness, that signals discipline, self-respect, and energy. Those are attractive qualities. Period. Now here's the key though. It has to be group activities, not solo gym time. Solo gym time means headphones in, eyes down, zero interaction. On the other hand, group classes force interaction. You're next to people. The instructor knows your name. Post-class chat happens naturally because everyone's there at the same time doing the same thing. And pickleball, oh my God, pickleball is exploding right now with people in their 50s, 60s, 7s. It's social. It's way less intense than tennis. And mixed doubles means you're partnering with women regularly. Courts have become these social hubs where people hang out before and after games. Leagues create even more regular interaction. It's perfect. And hiking groups are great too, especially for men who aren't into high-intensity fitness. You're walking for an hour or two. Conversation flows naturally because what else are you going to do? And groups usually grab coffee or breakfast afterward. It's low pressure and gives you actual hours to talk to people without it feeling forced. But here's the secret. Consistency. You have to show up 3 or 4 times a week minimum. Become a regular face people expect to see and actually talk to people before and after class. Don't just work out and immediately leave. Suggest grabbing coffee after class to the group, not singling out one woman. Make yourself part of the social fabric. I know a man who joined a boot camp class at 64, showed up consistently for months, started chatting with people after class. He eventually started dating a woman who was friends with the instructor. She wasn't even in the class, but being part of that social circle created the opportunity. See how that works? So, that's place number 2, group fitness with social components. Now, here's the third place. And this one's about positioning yourself differently than most men even think about. Community leadership and visible social roles. And what I mean is taking on roles where you're visible, valued, and demonstrating competence in a micro-community. Things like volunteer leadership, teaching community classes, neighborhood organization roles, or special interest clubs with service components. Okay, so why does this work? Because leadership and visibility create social proof. When other people see you as valuable and competent, that elevates how you're perceived. You're not just another guy. You're the guy who organizes the food bank, the guy who teaches photography at the community center, the guy who runs the neighborhood watch. You see the difference? And here's what women respond to. Women are attracted to men who contribute, not just consume. A man who's teaching something, leading something, or serving in a visible way demonstrates purpose. And purpose is attractive at any age, way more attractive than just being retired and killing time. Plus, volunteer organizations are majority women. Food banks, Habitat for Humanity, museum docent programs, library boards. If you take a leadership role in any of these, you're automatically interacting with more women than men. And the context is low pressure because it's not about dating. It's about the work, but connections form naturally around shared purpose and teaching a skill that's incredibly attractive. If you know woodworking, photography, cooking, finance, teach a class at your local community center or library, students naturally interact with you. You're demonstrating expertise, and people who share your interest are going to show up. Neighborhood and HOA leadership puts you in regular contact with neighbors through block parties, community meetings, garden clubs. You're solving problems, organizing events, making things happen. That demonstrates capability in ways that actually matter to people's daily lives. And special interest clubs with service components, Rotary Connies, car clubs that do charity shows, wine clubs with fundraiser auctions. These combine social interaction with purpose-driven activity, and they usually have regular social events outside the main meetings where romantic connections actually form. The work brings you together. The social events create the space for something more. Now, here's the reality, though. You can't fake genuine interest just to meet women. They'll sense it immediately and it'll backfire. You have to actually care about the cause or activity. But if you choose something you're genuinely interested in and take on a visible role, the social benefits follow naturally without you even trying. I know a man who became a museum docent at 68, gave tours, learned the collections, became known in that community. He met a fellow volunteer at 70. They've been married 3 years now. The museum created the context. The shared interest created the connection. It wasn't forced. It just happened. So those are the 3 places: salsa and Latin dance classes, group fitness environments with social components, community leadership, and visible social roles. How to really position yourself in these places so they are the ones coming after you instead of you going after them is shared in the checklist I'm giving you for free. The link is in the comment section and in the description area. So here's what all 3 have in common. They're based on repeated exposure. You see the same people regularly. Familiarity builds naturally. They're centered around shared activity. Connection forms while you're doing something together, not sitting across a table forcing awkward conversation. They're low-pressure contexts. It's not context explicitly about dating. So there's no weirdness. They provide social proof. Other people see you as valuable and competent, and conversation happens organically as part of the activity itself. Compare that to dating apps where there's no context, no familiarity, and high pressure from the first message. Or bars where the environment is artificial and everything's alcohol dependent. Or speed dating where it's all forced and transactional. Or setups by friends where expectations are sky high and it's awkward as hell if it doesn't work out. These 3 places work because they're natural. You're just showing up to do something you enjoy or care about. And if connection happens, it happens organically. No pressure, no performance, just real interaction over time. Now, here's where this gets even better, because showing up to these places is only half of it. The other half is how you show up, how you present yourself, what signals you're sending without even realizing it. And that's exactly what the checklist I mentioned at the beginning covers. 7 things younger women can't resist in older men. And these are specific qualities and behaviors that make you attractive to women decades younger. Not creepy, not trying too hard, just genuinely attractive. Things like confidence without arrogance, financial stability without flashing it around, life experience without lecturing people about how things used to be. Emotional availability without being needy, physical health as evidence of self-respect, humor that's sharp but kind, and presence that shows you're fully engaged in your own life, not desperately looking for someone to complete it. Put these 7 things to use and you shift the dynamic completely. You stop chasing. Women start noticing you. They start initiating conversation. They start showing interest. You become the man they want, not the man desperately looking for validation. And the checklist breaks down each one specifically. What it looks like in practice, how to demonstrate it without trying too hard, what mistakes men make that kill attraction even when they have everything else right. and how to position yourself so younger women see you as a genuine option, not just someone their dad's age who's trying too hard. The link's in the description. It's free. Grab it, read it, and then actually show up to one of these 3 places with the checklist in mind. Because location plus positioning equals results. You need both. For the men emailing me saying they've given up, I get it. Dating after 60 feels impossible when you're doing it the way everyone tells you to. Apps don't work. Bars aren't your scene. Friends don't set you up anymore. But these 3 places work because they're built on real life, repeated interaction, and shared activity. That's how humans actually connect. Not swiping, not forced setups. Real interaction over time. So, pick one. Salsa classes if you want something physical and social. Group fitness if you're already active and want to meet people in that context. Community leadership. If you want visibility and purpose, start showing up consistently. Build familiarity. Let connections happen naturally. And use the checklist to make sure when those connections start forming, you're positioning yourself as someone women actually want, not someone they politely tolerate, someone they pursue, someone they're genuinely interested in. The link's in the description and in the comment area. And if you love this video, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss these conversations every week. I'm a very Scott, and I'll see you on the